So we're gonna run with the forward cam just in case there is any good content, because it would be my luck that good content would arise as my cameras die. And as such, there's some good content. Rivians. A bunch of them.
Yeah, this is one of the offices.
Oh, they do look good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to actually see the R1Ss though. I want to see how big they are.
R1Ss are being delivered right now, but
only RJ and the other guy has it right now, right? The CEO and CFO.
So, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they took delivery of the first two.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I follow Rivian about as closely as I follow Tesla.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I often tell people about Rivian as well, because like I'm a major Cybertruck fan.
Oh, really?
And I'm waiting for the Cybertruck, especially because the Rivian's more of a medium-sized truck. It's not a full-size. But there's a lot of people that want an electric truck, but Cybertruck isn't really their style, so I immediately tell them about Rivian.
Uh-huh. So what makes you interested about Cybertruck?
Full-size capabilities. Towing up to 20,000 pounds, 500 miles of range.
20,000 pounds?
Yeah, well, I mean, the current spec is 14,000 plus, but the patents are all showing 20,000.
But there's nothing out right now, is it? Is there?
No. It's probably going to start deliveries at the end of this year, going into next year.
So the specifications might differ when they're being delivered.
That's so that the tri-motor is becoming quad motor, and it's likely that the 400 or the 14,000 towing is going to go up as well.
I don't know about it.
I'd say there's a very solid chance that the Cybertruck in production is going to outperform the specs from 3 years ago. Actually, in November, it'll be 3 years.
I don't believe it will be successful. I mean, the project itself. Consider, for example, you remember the project Concorde? Concorde did.
Oh, the jet?
Yeah,
of
jet.
course. Yeah.
It was. I mean, from the engineering perspective, it was a really good. I mean, plane. Everything was perfect. But the problem was that. Were there any needs for that to travel, for example, from Europe to America within like 1 or 2 hours or 3 hours?
Mm-hmm.
So for Cybertruck, I suppose it will not attract many people because of the, just the appearance, just the look of it. Most of the people interested in trucks, they like it because of its performance. I mean, as you said. Its capabilities, the towing capability or other factors, they need performances, they need capabilities. They think more traditionally, and these looks do not attract them, I suppose. Well,
I mean, to give so if your example with Concorde is relating to a lack of there being a demand for the product,
yeah.
The reservation count already squashes that idea. I mean, within 48 hours, they had 250,000 pre-orders, and by now it's closing in on 2 million. So even if half of those didn't go through, you're still looking at 1 million Cybertrucks that are reserved now. Again, that's if half of the people say no. As an example, not to put Rivian down, understandably as a startup, the prices have to be higher, but you basically have a Tacoma-sized truck for $70,000+ compared to a full-size truck that starts around $50,000.
Yeah, I agree about that. This is one of the problems about Rivian as well, R1T.
Yeah, but I still think they're going to do great. But my point with that is the demand for the full-size truck that's meant to do work is going to be why Cybertruck does succeed, because it's not meant to be an aesthetic thing like the Concorde or like a Lamborghini Countach or something. It's built that way from first principles engineering to be strong, to get a job done, to deliver on performance. So that's why the look, the aesthetic, it's not going to matter to the people that are looking for a workhorse.
When was the first delivery date? I mean, it was supposed to be delivered like in 2021 or?
The original idea was maybe Q4 of last year, it might have been delivered. But there's a very important thing to consider here before you continue. Is that was before the pandemic.
Okay.
And that was before supply chain issues, as well as the excessive growth of Model Y. And Texas, were the factory that's making The Cybertruck, they're prioritizing Model Ys first.
Okay.
And then Cybertrucks will come in after. And Tesla's also in a unique issue right now where Cybertruck is going to require the 4680 cell factor. So you have a few limiting factors tech-wise that's causing Cybertruck to fall back a little bit.
Of course, I agree about that. That affects all the EV companies.
Sure, sure.
But most of them, it will affect Tesla because of the number, the volume of the production. So because of these many reasons, as you just said, they're prioritizing Model Y over Cybertrucks. These reasons, both internally and externally, by externally I mean the supply chain issue, I don't think Cybertruck will be, the first Cybertruck will be delivered by the end of this year.
I'm skeptical of that myself. I think it would be very, very, very lucky if it does, but yes, I'm expecting maybe...
You have to consider something else as well. When you're talking about Rivian, which is a startup, actually.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So even delivering the first and second in order to get IPO'd is perfect. So you, for the first time, you do not think about mass production. You just want to deliver the prototype. You just want to produce something, manufacture something, and then build on that.
Sure.
But
sure.
About Tesla, this is not the case. About Tesla, they will start whenever they have the capability of mass production. So they will not act like Rivian at all. Rivian got IPO'd in September. And by the end of 2021, they just delivered 1,000 R1Ts, which is nothing in comparison to Tesla. When you are talking about Rivian has problems with supply chain, okay?
Sure, sure.
Rivian and Tesla, they're the only companies, Rivian and Tesla.
Okay.
They both have supply chain issues. Let's say they are affected by the same rate of supply chain issue, okay? Problem. But when you're talking about, for example, the batteries, how many batteries will Rivian need for, let's say, 1,000 R1Ts? How many batteries will Tesla need for the mass production that they have to start with?
It depends if you're talking cell form factors, because that Rivian uses cells, right? 2170s? I'm pretty sure Rivian's use 2170s. I could be wrong, but that would make the most sense. Because they're not pouch cells, right?
No, they're cylindrical.
They're cylindrical, so yeah, they're likely 2170s.
No, they're not. It's either 9 or 11 modules, I suppose.
Well, that's different. That's groupings of the cells. So in a single cylindrical cell, like a single battery, the form factor 2170 means that it's 21 millimeters wide by 70 millimeters tall. That's just the individual battery cell, yeah.
You were talking about the size, the physical size of the cells.
Yes.
I was talking about the configuration of how they are attached.
I see.
How the cells are attached to each other.
Yeah, there's a lot of intricacies with the battery.
Parallel,
Yeah,
so what I'm saying is that I believe the problem will be much worse for Tesla in order to deliver expectations.
They've already gotten past that point with Model 3, and now they've been executing on every metric if you've kept up with them over the last couple of years. There's no limiting factor that would cause them to fail. Delay, sure.
The limiting factor is, let's say the technology is the best, but they have to deal with the supply chain issue.
I don't think that's really an issue. Because, again, Tesla's navigated around the supply chain issue in a very large way.
How can they do that? Let's say
one of the biggest ways is, and I believe Rivian's been smart to do a lot of this themselves, is vertical integration. There's not a whole lot of things that Tesla has to reach out to the supply chain for, unless you're talking about cells from Panasonic, LG Chem, CATL. An overwhelming majority of Tesla's manufacturing is designed in-house, built by machines by Tesla. And especially if you consider the Texas factory and German factories that are further improvements on that, including casting presses and everything. The biggest supply chain hiccups that Tesla faces really is just getting enough chips and batteries.
All right. This is the problem for EV. This is the bottleneck for EV. I mean cells and...
Sure.
What was the other one? I forgot.
Chips.
Yeah,
like
chips.
Electronics, yeah.
They're the main... they're regarding supply chain issue, they are the main problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
So I'm just saying that, let's say a company has promised to deliver 100 cars, and another company has promised to deliver 1,000, just based on the expectations, the
Sure.
general public expectations.
Sure.
I'm saying, let's say the factor for they are affected by the same supply chain issue, and the factor of delivery is, let's say, 0.5.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that Rivian, for example, delivers 100, and by half it will be 50.
Sure.
For Tesla, it will be 500. What is the expectations that have not been delivered? For Rivian, it is 50. For Tesla, it is 500. Agree?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
This is what I'm saying.
Well, that's a matter of scale magnitude.
Yeah.
Which, so that's where Tesla's got the experience, having brought several vehicles to mass production, will be their benefit, where Rivian's going through the very hard point of first time on the block.
Yeah.
Which I'm confident they'll succeed. But I still don't see how this would cause Cybertruck to fail.
No. I'm not saying that Cybertruck is going to fail. This is
okay.
The first reason that I provided you with, which was regarding the appearance and the look of it, it was my personal opinion.
Sure, yeah. Shared by a lot of people,
Yeah.
including my wife.
But what I said was that Cybertruck may not deliver the expectations. Not it doesn't mean that it is a failure. Let's say Cybertruck has promised to deliver 700,000. Do you think that Tesla will be able to do this by the end of this year?
This year, absolutely not.
Okay, this
No,
is
so that's an important thing.
Tesla,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Tesla is seen as a company with great performance, and it is expected that when they are introducing a new product, everything will be on track, everything will be perfect. But if they do not deliver the expectations, it will be a failure for Tesla. However, in comparison with Rivian, the expectations are not that high. So
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Basically, Rivian doesn't have the spotlight or the criticism that will come with not meeting. Yeah. I mean, that's to be expected with new technology. There you go. It was a good conversation. Have a good night.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.